During this emergency period, the government may order the deployment of armed forces or other security forces in any parts of the country. Citizens whose age is fit for military service and are in possession of firearms may be ordered to take up military training. The government says it may also order the suspension or permanent cancellation of mass media or journalists suspected of providing content that support the terrorist organization. The state of emergency follows threats by the Tigray People's Liberation Front and its affiliate groups to oust the regime of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. The United Nations has raised concern over the crisis.
I just wanted to reiterate here again something that we have been saying all the time, that a prolonged crisis in this country could be a very disastrous situation for the regional stability, for peace and security. And this is not just a concern to Ethiopians, to Tigrayan, to everyone affected by this conflict, but it is a reality that concerns the whole of the East and the whole of Africa.
The UN Human Rights Commission, together with the Ethiopia Human Rights Commission, have conducted joint investigations into the atrocities in parts of Ethiopia's north between November last year, when the conflict began, and June this year.
Based on the information gathered and analyzed by the joint investigation team, there are reasonable grounds to believe that all parties to the conflict have committed major violations and abuses in the context of the conflict, including: 1. The Ethiopian forces, the Eritrean forces, and the Tigrayan forces.
The hope for an end to the conflict a year later remains gloomy.
The release of this report hopefully presents an opportunity for all parties in the conflict to pause, reflect, and acknowledge responsibility.
The African Union and the United Nations are calling for immediate ceasefire and dialogue among the warring parties. Neighboring Kenya has asked Ethiopia to consider peace. The United States Special Envoy for the Horn of Africa has arrived in the country to push the agenda of an end to the fighting. Coletta Njohi, SABC News, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.